Oogala. Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I made one of these. It sucks. I got distracted. I lose track of time. I kind of a procrastinator sometimes, but hey, I'm trying, and so I'm bringing this back. So just this morning, I recorded three 15-minute parts, and just now I recorded a fourth 15-minute part. And right now I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna narrate all these, and I'm gonna start editing them, and I'm gonna get them up. I should be able to get all these done, 4 more parts for you guys. So last time, and it has been a while, I'll remind you guys what happened. I basically got started on this map. The galaxy is not too huge. We're not playing on like ridiculously large settings or anything, but it's big enough for there to be a lot of stellar nations or whatever, and it's big enough that it's going to take me a while to conquer it all, more importantly. So I estimate this game will at least run to 2400, probably past that, because I tend to be slow when I do war stuff. I like to wait for the right time, wait for the right opportunity before I go in for the kill, And this kind of game, patience can be a strong suit, in my opinion, if you do it the right way. But yeah, so I'm pretty much just colonizing my main first few planets. I would have liked to have a few more, at least some more green planets in my borders, if not at least a couple yellow planets, but I only really found 2 or 3, and the rest are just, red. You don't even really want to inhabit them. You get such a huge penalty for the resources that it's not worth it unless you're doing some like crazy strat where you just colonize everything that walks, or if you're playing robots who colonize everything that exists. But yeah, I don't have that many planets in my borders to colonize, so I just colonized those 3, Earth, Alpha Centauri, and Sirius Prime, and I just figured, okay, I'm just going to get what I can, and then I'm going to start taking from those around me. But you're going to see I start to run into a little bit of trouble here, mostly just with my economy and with the surrounding nations around me. You'll see in this episode and in the next episode, I'm going to run into about another like 4 or 5 or 6 countries, and you're going to see it's going to fill out a lot of the map. There is a ton of the map that is about to get filled out, and so we're just starting to reach the end of this event here too. This little event where your head of your physics ran away, and blah blah blah. So, like when you reach the end of this, she starts talking about this thing where she's like she thinks she's not like in she's like not in reality or something, and I just send my fleet to go deal with the little tiny fleet they send right there. And another thing that happened that was cool, I was recording all these parts you guys are gonna see here in a little while, or it might be in the next part, I want to say. But at the end of that Gruner, the little Gruner excavation event chain, the Gruner excavation event chain, there is a really cool ending to that, and you guys will see that. But that's not for a little while. So at this point, I'm still really small, and I'm trying to claim as many stars as I can. I have some okay starting stars near me. They're not the greatest, but I mean, I can deal with it. And I also have a couple good starting planets. The biggest thing that sucked here was I kind of got boxed in a little bit earlier than I wanted, and you guys will see what I mean when it comes to that here soon in a little bit. But once I start to meet the rest of these little nations that are going to start popping up, I kind of got boxed in earlier than I wanted, and that's going to result in me having to wait to go to war, you'll see, because I didn't have the resources, and I started getting energy starved and consumer goods starved, and you see this starts to become kind of a pain. I keep trying to fix this over and over. I sell my minerals, and I do that, and just if anyone's asking, I didn't know that I could sell the minor artifact thing in the relics tab. I didn't know that. I know that now, but I didn't know that before. So yeah, I would have been using that, and I would have been abusing it, but I didn't know. So that's how that is. And so I'm just gonna keep expanding, and pretty much what I'm doing is I'm trying to get as big as I can before I get boxed in, because I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. It always happens, but I was hoping it wouldn't happen so early, but it did, mostly due to the fact that I was kind of too slow. Was kind of a little bit too slow in claiming stars, and I was also a little bit too slow with the way I did certain things, but it's alright, because at the end of the day, I was still able to claim enough territory that I wasn't totally useless, so in this game, you know, as a player against AI, you pretty much can leverage an incredibly small territory against a much larger territory if you're smart. And I'm playing on mostly even footing with these bots, so it's not going to be long before I have like a huge chunk of the galaxy all to myself. And then from that point on, it's just going to be a waiting game while I take everyone else over. But, you know, it'll be fun regardless. This is probably, not only is it like fairly easy content for me to make, but kind of like calms me down to make this a little bit after I get home from work, because I work in a restaurant, so it's like it gets really hectic in there, and like when I get home, the last thing I want to do is like do something else that's super busy. I just kind of want to sit here and just talk, you know, on the mic, and just kind of just look back like on the clips that I recorded this morning, and that's what I'm doing. So yeah, that's right. So yeah, here's, yeah. So I start to now I'm remembering. Yeah, I start to reinforce my fleet, because if you notice when I keep checking the tabs or whatever, it's like everyone's everyone's fleets are superior or overwhelming to me, and that's just the nature of starting on like captain or even higher. Is they have that initial advantage, and they have those modifiers over you, and basically it's just gonna result in you having to wait before you can really attack. And yeah, right here, see, like, she just starts talking this, she's like nuts or whatever. She's just like, oh, like it's not real, it's not reality, I have to go through into the real reality or whatever. And so you try to convince her, but she just disappears, and she just leaves. And so it's kind of creepy, and it gives you this burnt out science ship as like a final reward. You kind of get like a free science ship. There's nothing wrong with it. It works as a regular science ship, so you could just recruit a scientist and put it in there, and it'll work as a regular one. I think I'd start using it too. But yeah, it's a cool end to that little creepy event. And you say, yeah, see the bowel or whatever, the bowel organism. I keep excavating this, and this is actually one of the cooler, really longer, long chain event chains. It's really cool. You're gonna see I reach all the way to the very end of it. It gives you a really cool reward, and I like where it goes. Also, I decided to go into supremacy here, because I knew that I was gonna go to war this game. Obviously, I'm playing. You know, there's no other way to win with the. There's not really a point to playing Fanatical Purifiers if you're not gonna kill the whole map. So you might as well just play. You could play another civilization and play more peacefully, or just do another kind of another flavors of a civilization entirely. But yeah, I end up going into supremacy here. I keep buying corvettes. I'm really trying to increase my my fleet as much as I can. Problem is I'm having this really annoying issue, because all of my planets are still building up, and I'm trying to expand so fast. I'm having an issue with my consumer goods and my energy, and of course my pop's growing pretty slowly. Earth's population is like completely stagnant almost because of migration. And Alpha Centauri and Sirius Prime's pops are going to grow slow because they're recent colonized. So my pop will start skyrocketing, and well, not really skyrocketing, but it'll start getting a lot bigger in the next like 10 or 15 years in game, because I have to overcome these initial hurdles that are really slowing me down here. But it doesn't matter, because really the worst part of expanding in Stellaris is the initial colonization and getting those first few pops up, so that the planet can basically stop being like a worthless investment of like a huge chunk of resources. Once that stops, it becomes a lot easier to recover your investment, and to make it a lot makes for a much smoother ride in that way. It makes it much better. So the biggest issue is getting the initial pops from the colonization, and just pretty much making the colony usable and making it functional in some capacity. Once you have that, the colony isn't as bad as just, oh, here's a 50% habitability planet, so you can have, you know, like a huge drain on your energy and your consumer goods for every single pop that's on there. And it's like, until it's producing, it's a huge debuff. But it won't be that way for long, especially because the way I have it set up, it's not that bad. And I'm not trying to colonize the 20% habitability planets, because there's not really a point. I might do terraforming in this game. I could see that. I wouldn't mind doing some terraforming. I doing some terraforming, because I have some good some good worlds that are the 20% habitability worlds. But you know, it doesn't it doesn't really behoove me to go for that at this moment. Hello, sorry about that. I had a bit of a interruption. You guys might not have been able to hear the bangs and stuff in the background. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's pretty much the plan for this game. That's what I'm trying to do. And right now, terraforming doesn't help me. It costs too many resources, and I don't have the technology for it. And even if I did have the technology for it, it costs too many resources, so I can't do that right now. So my expansion's pretty limited to what I've got. But you know, you could make even smaller empires work for you in this game if you know how to take advantage of your of all the resources that you have under your control. So it'll be fine, and I'll just make work with what I'll just make do with what I've got. Yeah, right there I got a cool social pheromones. It's like a minor housing buff, which is actually 5% isn't that much, but any kind of housing buff is actually really nice because it helps you just stack more people on the same planet without having to pay for more housing districts. And that can really add up. Now, if you had some more percentages, it would be even better. But even just 5%, it's still noticeable. So I'm not really sure how that math works. I don't know if it's like if there's 100 pops, it would count as 95 instead of 100, so you could fit 5 more, or if it doesn't work like that. I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure if that's the math there, but regardless, I did get it. It's a species wide buff, so it just goes on all your current species and it just applies to everything and everyone. So. And yeah, you see, I'm still having this issue with my my consumer goods and my energy. I think this is going to continue into the next part too. It takes me a little bit to fix it. And yeah, so I'm just claiming all the systems here, and I'm gonna have to. I already can tell. Like at this point, I remember this morning I was playing this, and I'm like, okay, great. I'm gonna have to build up for a while before I'm able to push out because this is ridiculous. I can't. If you're starting to see, I can't really go anywhere besides south, and I wasn't ready to expand south yet. I didn't feel like moving south quite yet, and can't go north. Can't go to the south west because of the what they call the Raltec sovereignty. I can't go southwest because of them, and I can't go north because of the other empire. So because of that, I'm kind of stuck where I am, just working with what I've got. I eventually decided to expand a little bit to the left to try to grab those systems for their energy because I didn't want to have to deal with the decreased energy costs. And I'm going to expand a little bit more toward the northeast too, and a little bit more towards the bottom. I believe I go south and I claim some systems there too, but my resulting empire, before I end up going to war, it isn't going to look too much bigger than this. You'll see. I pretty much expand maybe 7 or 8 more stars, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's not too much. And the end result is I'm just kind of like not really landlocked. It's not land, but I'm locked in between all these other countries, and I'm going to have to start pretty much busting out of there. And one of the side effects actually that I noticed, especially in the Ancient Relics DLC, that's actually a little bit more annoying than I thought it would be. When you're locked in and you can't get out, you have an issue with getting more anomalies and getting events and stuff and situations, which give you, they give you resources. Sometimes they give you unity, they give you research, they give you resources, energy, minerals, food. You get all kinds of stuff from events, and that also extends. That also extends to relics, and so I'm gonna have to, expand if I want to get more relics. So yeah, and this was kind of a funny problem that I had here. You guys will see what ends up happening with that Titan situation next time. It's not so great. I ended up having to fix that. I made a mistake there because I forgot how that scenario ends. It has a ending that I have seen before, but I forgot about it. Anyway, that's the end of this part for now. This episode was pretty much just expansion and stuff, but it's going to be building up to war later, and you're going to see what happens with the Titan scenario next episode. So for now, that's going to be it, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.